All right, so here is the new client. It's playing its music. It has multiple tracks on it. This is the RC Launcher 2.0. To be specific, 2.0.0 client. And this is when you first log in, you're on a smaller screen. And I couldn't put that up, and I want to share username and password. But whatever access environments you have access to on that specific account, they are on this list. And then on the drop down, you can hit the install right there for the game. You do not want to run this 2.0.0 launcher and the 1.6.10 launcher at the same time. Per CIG, this could cause significant issues. So you can see up here, you can adjust the volume slider now, which is nice. Before, it was an all or nothing. You just mute it or it's on. Now you can adjust the thing. You can also see your download queue. So if you go into here, you can adjust your download settings like before. So you can see your concurrent max downloads, your unlimited speed, or you can set a specific speed if you have moderated a thing, or you're trying to share internet with other folks, or you don't want to get booted off your network if you're sharing. You can see the launcher version is 2.0.0.rc 1.115. This is available to everybody with Wave 1, and I'm sure it'll be opened up slowly to others. So inside here, interestingly, there's a section just for games. So as I hit this plus symbol, you can see where my game library is. And I can hit that to go back in, just like in the previous menu on the right. And then you'll still have your verify button. So people would probably want to practice with this and confirm what you want. I like this little option here because when you do close this right now, it will just stay in your bottom tray. And to some, that's not exactly ideal. Something that's pretty neat about this as well is you can see the RSI system statuses, which was added in previously, and you can see that from the main menu too. These are like a persistent menu at the top. But RSI, we've gone over downloads, and you can go in your download settings, and you can see your queue of what you're downloading. We went into RSI status, which was one of the buttons that was on this, and then it was like a pop-up, like a Chromium style pop-up, and now it's more built in. And then if I click this, it'll take you to a browser that's the status page. But in general, this is nice to have just at a glance. So while you're kind of checking out what's going on, you can hit the play button. If that didn't say install, it would say play. You got your statuses right there. Additionally, you have your guide program here. You have content creators, which is the hub system, and you also have Spectrum, a link to that. And then in here, a specific section just for new citizens. Same deal, pushing them to the guide program, the other side of it, of course, and then also guides on how to play. And what I do like is these two right here. So you have a more robust selection of comm links, of all the more recent comm links. So if you click on one of these, it'll take you to that page on the website, and it also gives you a little, reader and how long ago it was posted. So you hover. I just learned that now. You hover your mouse over it, gives you the exact time and day, which is nice. And yeah, it's useful. This one right here is going to be pretty popular. Shows you the latest patch, and you can go straight to the notes for that. Now, I do want to note that that's for live, so I'm curious when we start getting the PTUs and the experimental PTUs and the tech previews and such, will there be patch notes that change based on which of the drop downs you pick over here? So I'm curious, but so far, I guess my curiosity will end. Note the game section is not just in the settings that we were in, it's also on the left side here. Right now, it just has SC. But I'm pretty sure soon enough, there'll be a Squadron 42 logo right here as a second game you can play. Because this is intended to be a launcher for the entirety of the Star Citizen verse. And that includes both the multiplayer experience in the PU and Squadron 42 single-player experience, and then whatever else gets in here. And one of the other things that's interesting in here as well, inside the notes from Proxys, from CIG, is noting that there is error handling v2, some changes to the way it handles the libraries, and in general, the ability to cancel downloads and changing the queue up and animations. All useful stuff, but in general, these are called cards. See the animation on the card? and they're different sizes based on the scale of what it is. Comlinks, for example. One thing, if I was gonna nitpick a little something, I would say that this should be have an image maybe in the background that's a little blurry or something to kind of give you a hint of what it's about. So, for example, a real prominent one would have been interesting to see the Anvil F7C MK2 have a little portrait of the ship right there from the comlink. Overdrive, same deal, a logo from the Overdrive event. And some other things like the lure makers. You could even just put something on there that's like a stamp. Another thing I want to comment on these cards is there's no categorization, which is a shame. It'd be interesting if this had a lure stamp, if this had a creative stamp, or an official message from the Outrage team. ISC's noting that it's a video it's trying to take you to, for since Star Citizen is an official YouTube product of Star Citizen. Sorry, the CIG. It would be interesting. I think these were done very well, but this is because this is probably evergreen content. This is stuff that's going to stay up here. So it's okay to make this larger than life and really nice because they don't have to every week resize them and design them. One other thing that caught my eye is that you have your profile stuff here. So you have a direct link to your account, which you had before, but it's still here. And if you have multiple accounts or you have a friend or family member that also shares the computer with you, you can still log out and swap accounts. So there's not that much craziness here. It's more of like an overall experience where multiple games can be implemented. It's a little more slick with how it handles this. It handles downloads better. The status is integrated, not that you have to click the more info just to get in there. And I even like that it was last updated this many seconds ago. So if the status server went down or something, or API didn't get pulled correctly, then you would not just think it's operational if you saw it was last updated 3 days ago, for example. And I'll be curious to see if these do have an issue in the future. I'll keep an eye on these to see if they change to yellow or red or something to let you know how bad the situation is. Would be interesting. So overall, small update, but big implications. A reminder again, if you are testing this, do not have this booted up at the same time as the 1.6.10 launcher because it can cause issues with your game files or with the launchers anyway. CIG I didn't really understand what they meant by what their warning was, but by Electron Store conflicts. But it seems to be some type of settings get messed up in the launcher or the game when you have both open at the same time. So, this is something that is starting to trickle down into testing for the waves. It's pretty cool, and this is the future. This is what everyone will have very, very soon. Here's to the wonderful testing of 3.23 and all the exciting different features that come with it.